In the case against Casey, her defense that someone else put Kaylee's remains in the woods is setting up a showdown between searchers and science. West 2's Bob Keeling joining us live right now. And Bob, Jose Baez wants access to search team records, but where does all this science come into play?
Well, Martha, a defense attorney we've been consulting says Jose Baez has a good chance of creating reasonable doubt by finding searchers who were in that area and didn't see anything. But then the state will have to counter with experts on the plants found growing in and around those remains. Judge Stan Strickland says he is inclined to give Casey's defense team access to records from Texas EquiSearch, specifically the volunteers who looked for Kaylee Anthony near the area where her remains were later found.
At the end, that's what he's looking to do, is march these people in there and say, we looked, we didn't see anything.
Defense lawyer Richard Hornsby says those searchers could go a long way towards creating reasonable doubt in the minds of jurors and helping Casey's defense.
The more people he can get to come in there and say, we looked and we didn't see anything, the stronger it reinforces that possibility that someone else did, in fact, plant the body there after the fact.
But the state has its own ammunition to counter that argument. Prosecutors already have testimony from a botanist who told them that based on root growth of the plants around the remains, they had to have been there at least 4 months. That contradicts Casey's claim that someone else put them there after she was put in jail.
Pardon the pun, you can't plant the plants. And if a botanist comes in and says, we found these plants, in order for them to reach this length or them to mature this much, they had to have been growing for X amount of time.
But Hornsby warns that the plant science is not a slam dunk, and jurors could still be more inclined to believe searchers who say they didn't see anything. And coming up all new at 5 and 6, an exclusive interview with the man who bonded Casey out of jail last August. He and his associates are now at the center of efforts to keep what they saw and heard from Casey out of this trial. And you'll hear what he saw and heard coming up beginning at 5. Jim?